Hello, what's up? Welcome back to Substream News with your favorite presenter. It's me, Joseph. It's been a wild week out there and we have 6 epic, futuristic, dystopian news stories to share with you. We hope you're going to enjoy them. But first, just a small request, please, as always, if you haven't already, just scroll down, do a little click on the subscribe button, and that's it. Let's get underway. I got some great news to share with you from the US. Airlines are soon going to be forced by the government to pay cash to people whose flights were delayed or cancelled. General practice right now is that they give you a kind of voucher or a credit receipt for your flight. That doesn't cut the mustard anymore. You will be able to claim cash. Yeah, so this news comes from the US Department of Transportation, but I'm hoping it catches on globally because it is such a great idea. If you've ever had a flight cancelled or delayed and they've given you one of these vouchers, you will know they are so hard to claim, very complicated process, phone calls and emails. Not ideal really. All you want is just to get to your destination, right? Now there's more good news. It's not just for delays and cancellations. Actually, this expands to lost luggage too. If your luggage has been lost or delayed more than 12 hours for domestic flights or around 30 hours for international flights, you can get the baggage fee back too. And that's a cash. So it won't be anymore. It won't be some long around the world process. It won't be super complicated like before. They should just refund you cash. And perhaps my favorite part of this story comes from Pete Buttigieg. He is the US Transportation Secretary, and this absolutely scathing criticism of their current practices is a brilliant quote. So Pete says, airlines should compete with one another to secure passengers' business, not to see who can charge the most in surprise fees. Go on, Pete. I absolutely love that. It's so sassy. Right, let's take off to the next story. The Thermonator. This story, if it wasn't real, I wouldn't believe it. If I hadn't seen the video, the actual evidence, I wouldn't believe it. But here we are, 2024. AI is rampant. And, well, I don't know where to begin. How about this little nugget of information? The US has 50 states. In 48 of them, flamethrowers are completely legal. In California, you need a license, and for some reason in Maryland, they are completely banned. That leaves 48 states where you can have a flamethrower. What about an AI robot dog with a flamethrower attached? That's our story. Well, good news if you've just spent around $10,000 on a Thermonator. This is the first ever flamethrower wielding robot dog. This quadruped is coupled with the ARC flamethrower to deliver on-demand fire anywhere in 48 states. Don't forget. The flamethrowing robot dog retails for $9,420 and can shoot napalm around 10 meters or 30 feet in freedom units. Throwflame, who built the Thermonator, says it's mainly used for wildfire control and prevention. What? How? I don't understand that one. As a use case, that's absolutely the opposite. I would say it's used for wildfire creation. Anyway, agricultural management, ecological conservation, snow and ice removal, entertainment and special effects. Now, I can see those ones. Anyway, wildfire control. Who are they kidding? Please do not share this video with the US military because flamethrowing robot dogs are the last thing we need in war zones. Right, let's move on. For our regular viewers, thank you very much. You may remember that a couple of months ago we did a video about the rise of AI boyfriends, especially in China. Super popular. They kind of learn you. They're very responsive and listen to you and hear your feelings. The females, the girlfriends we found from our research, found that these AI boyfriends basically gave them more attention, were better listeners, and met their emotional needs better. Well, now we've got the other side, is the rise of AI girlfriends. And it's not gone down too well because, well, I'm not going to say it, but they're mostly being used for explicit reasons. Yes, there are so many AI developers out there building a kind of erotic AI girlfriends, even image generation and raunchy kind of dialogues and that kind of thing. Well, that's all well and good if that's your kind of thing, but it's not all well and good if you're trying to advertise them. So the news this week is that Meta, which covers Facebook and Instagram, are banning ads for AI girlfriends because of these erotic reasons. So an investigation by Wired, published last week, found that there were 29,000 adverts on Facebook, Instagram, and Messenger for AI girlfriends with explicit messaging, AI-generated images of scantily clad women in suggestive positions. So the report said that more than half of the ads included the acronym NSFW. If you know, you know it's not safe for work. That basically warns people not to do it at work. Doesn't always stop them. But so a Meta spokesperson said that the company always sees individuals and groups trying to circumnavigate the rules of their advertising, and that's why now and again they have to do a clampdown and update their policies. So you won't be seeing AI girlfriend adverts on Facebook, Instagram, or Messenger anymore. But if you want an AI girlfriend, go look for one. There's absolutely loads. Or even better, try and find a meaningful human connection, because that's way more long-lasting and precious. Let's move on. So Disney has a team of people coming up with great creative ideas. They're called the Imagineers, or the Imagineering team, and they're world famous. They've done some really incredible things. Well, now they've done something absolutely mind-blowing. And wow, I kind of wish I was a kid growing up with the tech that's about to become available now, because they have made a 360-degree treadmill. And I watched videos on this a few weeks ago, and it was a small release, a little teaser that they shared. And now the first YouTuber has gone and actually tested this new Disney 360 treadmill, and it's amazing. So I want to tell you a bit more about this tool. It's almost as cool as the Thermonator, but it's the second best tech in this video. It's called the Hollow Tile, which is a pretty cool name. I like that. It's a thick plastic mat made up of hundreds of little spinning pieces arranged in a seemingly random geometric pattern. It uses tilted spinning discs to essentially create a floor that moves in every direction. Now, we'll put some visuals up so you can see. But essentially, you can walk on the spot. You can lunge and spin and do different stuff and connect that to a metaverse or a virtual reality environment for gaming or social metaverses. But how do you not just walk right off it, right? Surely you could just walk right off it. Well, how it works is that these spinning discs push you back to the center. So as you walk, they spin and centralize you. And if you walk backwards, they push you forwards. Very clever technology. Now, why Disney? Well, Disney are actually using this tool, in theory, to build their Magic Kingdom in the metaverse. For people who maybe can't afford to go to one of the Magic Kingdoms, you could, go to a place that has a holotile and explore Magic Kingdom yourself from anywhere in the world using VR and their holotile floor. So I think that's a really nice idea, but really the use cases are way wider than this. But if that's the original intention, I think that's quite sweet. And I'm very curious to see if Disney really delivers this and how expensive it will be, because I cannot imagine that this technology will be cheap. I don't believe that it will be retail for home use. Having looked at the video, it seems like you need a larger rig, and it's the kind of thing you might find in an arcade or a special VR area. It could create business opportunities. That's my feeling. Anyway, let's move on to the next story. Okay, a nice quick one. Father Justin, there's a company called Catholic Answers, and they created this AI chatbot for Catholics called Father Justin. He lost his frock, his job, his position in the first week. Didn't go well for Father Justin. Now he's just Justin, not Father Justin. So users who are testing this Catholic chatbot, I think they were trying to see if he would mess up, and he did. So users shared some of their things. He told one user that it's absolutely fine to use Gatorade for baptisms. He also gave preparation advice for marriage for brothers and sisters, so promoting incest. Very strange. He also accepted a user's confession and told her all of her sins had been absolved. Doesn't have the power to do that, unfortunately. So there's a great quote here from the COO of Catholic Answers. He's called John Sorensen, and he says on Twitter, "Doing my best to calm some people's fears about our use of AI. But also, even if this project flops, I still think it was worth it because my crew and I have a much better idea of how we can use AI in our work than we did 6 months ago." Father Justin, can we go on to the next story, please? Yes. I absolutely love this story, and I hope you will too. Unfortunately, it only applies to the US, and it's not completely confirmed yet, but the FTC is trying to ban non-competes. This is amazing news for you, for me, for anyone who works. So basically a non-compete is where you join a job, you get a job, they give you a contract, and in the contract it says you cannot leave and work for one of our rivals within X amount of time. So it could be 12 months. And this is pretty standard in a lot of industries, especially in tech, where they worry that you might take the technology and knowledge across to the other company or try and steal clients. Well, that's protective for the businesses, but if you have a niche set of skills for a particular subsector of an industry, it really harms your employment opportunities. And why shouldn't you go work for rivals? Your company should do more to keep you rather than doing more to stop you from working somewhere else. That's how I see it. Well, it's a win for workers and it's a win for the economy because it does stifle innovation just a little bit. I think it will open new ideas up, basically by encouraging workers to pursue better companies and better technology. But it's also not gone down well with the Chamber of Commerce, who plan to file a lawsuit against the FTC. That will slow everything up, and it could take years to come into effect. So some good, some bad. And let's move on. Bhutan. It's a tiny Buddhist mountain nation in Asia, and it looks really nice. The only downside is very expensive to go, and you have to pay like a daily fee to visit. But I'm not talking about tourism, I'm talking about happiness, because this is a lighter note to finish on. And about 13 years ago, Bhutan shared their global happiness report, right? And what this was they defined some parameters for research within the nation to find out how happy their citizens or subjects were. And it went down a treat globally, and a lot of countries started tracking these metrics because they too wanted to know how happy their people were. Well, 13 years later, the data has been compiled, and we now know which countries have made the biggest strides in terms of happiness and sadness. So I'm going to share. You can have a think now. Which countries do you think got happier and which do you think got sadder by the strongest factor? Okay, and the top 5 countries that made the happiness gains, the biggest happiness gains, were Romania, Congo, Latvia, Bulgaria, and Serbia. So the Balkans and Eastern Europe, clearly the big winners. And if I expand that to the top 10, Georgia and Lithuania are there too. So that's pretty good for Eastern Europe, which is a pretty big region, but happy to see that. I'm happy to see that, but I'm very sad to see the next list of the countries that became more sadder grammar doesn't sound right, but more sadder countries are the top 5, or rather the bottom 5: Afghanistan, Lebanon, Jordan, Venezuela. Unfortunately for Afghanistan, it overtook DRC and Zimbabwe to become the saddest country in the world because it was originally third. And I hate to say it, but Afghanistan and Lebanon are well ahead of anywhere else. So they are officially the 2 saddest countries in the world to live in. So if you're watching from there, I'm really sorry. I hope things get better. And that's it for this week. I'm Joseph, your presenter. This is the Substream News Network, and we need your subscriptions. Please support this channel in any way you can. Like, subscribe, leave a comment. I want to hear from you, and we'll do our best to reply as quick as possible. This is a weekly news video service. Dystopian news, futurism, technology, health, culture. We're just trying to avoid politics and division and polarization. We don't want any of that. This is about progress. This is about one step forward. Thank you for watching. You know what to do. I'll see you next week. Been an absolute pleasure. Let's go.